Hey everybody, thanks for being here today. I appreciate you watching this live or watching my recording. This is my first launch in the road tested coaching. I'm going to share business success tips, what you need to do in order to create the success you desire, to get paid the amount you want to get paid, and to create the success and the time frame and the timeline on everything on your terms. So today what I'm going to cover are five areas on what you must do in order to sustain a profitable business. So, the first thing we do when we first start out is we have to know what we're going to offer. We have to create the programs or at least the steps that we're going to cover with our existing clients or our ideal clients. So, you must get clear on exactly what you are going to do and how you're going to offer it. For some people, it's a recorded training, it's a live training, it's one on one work, it's workshop, it's a webinar, it's a myriad of things. You first have to get clear in what it is that you're doing. And for many of you, what's going to happen is it's going to be multifaceted, meaning you may do a recorded training and then you decide, oh, I can do that in a webinar, and you start doing a webinar with it. That webinar leads to a group training or a one-on-one program. So you can see how you can use that one thing that you create in order to become multifaceted, to be able to customize or accommodate the clientele that show up. So you got to know who, what, and why. Who you're serving, you need to know your ideal client. And more importantly than their demographics, you need to know their psychographics. It's like, how do they think? What is it that they desire? What do they think about when they go to sleep at night? What do they wish for? All the things that psychologically impact them and get in the way of their success so that you can help them if you're focusing on business owners. What is it that they're looking for as an end result, not the steps, because they don't care what we do, right? They don't care if we lay next to a tree for an hour and that's the way that success shows up. They get interested in that after they understand that we can help them get to point B. So they're starting at point A, we need to help them to get to point B, right? So why they have to do it and why with us is the way that you start separating yourself from the crowd. One of the hardest things that you can do is pick your lane, pick your niche. We start broad strokes. But once you can get yourself to a narrowed niche where you become known for something, it doesn't mean you're giving up all the other things. But what it does mean is that you're getting known for something. And when you're known as an expert, you get more business, you get paid more, and it's easier to find the people that want that one thing. The best example I can give you is, who would you rather go to? A general practitioner or a knee surgeon if you have a knee problem? The knee surgeon. Who gets paid more? The knee surgeon. Who sees less patients? The knee surgeon. So it just makes sense for you to define your niche as soon as you possibly can by choosing your ideal client, picking the program that you're going to start with, deliver it the way that you want to start with, and make sure that you do it, not just choose that and then never do it. And then go try to do something else on time. Oh, I'm going to do webinars. And then you never give a webinar, but you do all the work to get it ready. And then you jump into doing one-on-one work, or I'm going to do groups now. Complete what you start, commit to what you're saying you're going to do, see it through to completion. The second thing is you want to create the program or series, because this program or series, you want to lay it all out, bullet point what the steps that you're going to take people through. Because see, you can take pieces of those steps and pull them out if you need to. If somebody's already there, you don't want to go through the basics, and you can start in the middle. But you can also take pieces of it out on this side of it and create little customized mini packages or customized packages for the people that you're going to be working with. That's why you want to lay out your program, and then you want to create the series or the processes that you're going to take people through. It's really important because that becomes the place that you start from. It's not the place that you end at usually. And it's also the foundation that you build off of. Because if you start at point A with, let's say, there's three things in your training program, what's going to happen is when you get clients, there's going to be two, three, four, five different things that they are going to ask you about. Some of these you're just going to refer to other people, and hopefully you're an affiliate or you have a referral program set up with those people. But some of these things are just going to make sense for you to incorporate them or to bring them in because you already know them into additional training. This is how you extend the lifetime value of a client without overwhelming them in the beginning. Because if we tell you too many things, it's too many things to choose from. It's much easier to pick from three things than it is to pick from 5 or 10. So just remember, keep the basics in the beginning until you prove that it works and then start expanding from there. The third thing, price it with confidence, not with guesswork. I usually am nice and I say 85%. This is the truth. I would say 99.9% of the business owners that I speak with, it doesn't matter if they just started or they've been in business for 25 years, guess their prices. The majority of the gurus out there, the people that we know, like, and admire that are really successful, they tell you to guess your price. It's easier to guess price work when you're really doing successful things because it doesn't matter. You have a lot of churn coming in and you're probably charging more than enough to cover all expenses because your lifestyle has increased dramatically. But when you're starting out in growth, it's really important that you don't guess your pricing. You don't want to go with competitive pricing because your competitors have different expenses than you do. You don't want to go with dynamic pricing because that just means you wait for ebbs and flows. And you want consistency, and ebbs and flows make sense, but they don't make sense as a foundational pricing format. Then you have, what's the other one? It's competitive. We have dynamic. We have value-based pricing, which is what you think you're worth. For some people, they're really good at it. For a lot of people, they think they're worth more than they are in the beginning. It's much better to have a calculated, formulated price. That's why I came up with a calculator that takes you through all your expenses, takes you through what you want to get paid, and then shows you how a set percent of profit at the end of it can be generated on every single sale so that you cover expenses, you pay you what you're worth, and you have a profit left at the end. That's a successful company. Every single corporation uses a formula. They don't use guesswork. And so make sure that you have a pricing strategy or formula that tells you exactly what you need to charge and how many people is a sweet spot number of people for you to work with. Once you exceed or meet that number, and then you start exceeding it, what happens is you make more money. You add more profit or you increase your profit margin in your sales. And you're always going to cover your expenses. You're always going to pay yourself, and you're always going to have a profit on every transaction when you do it formulaically. Make sure you get this one right. Out of all the things that you have to get right is you have to charge enough to cover everything that you spend money on. You have to bring in enough income so that you can live the lifestyle wherever it is that you're at. I'm in Northern California. It's very expensive here. If I didn't price formulaically and I priced where I came from, which was Ohio, there's about a 33% more cost of living expenses here than there is in Ohio. If I was charging Ohio prices, do you think that's a smart thing to do in Northern California? It depends, right? Wouldn't you rather know instead of guessing? That's my suggestion. Never guess your pricing. That's the fourth thing. List out and know your weaknesses. Oh, this is a big one. List out and know your weaknesses. We are all really good at delivering what we sell because that's why we started the business. But we're not always good at the other things that have to be done. And there's a lot of them. We have all the admin stuff that needs done. We have the marketing side, which is most of us are on social media. So we have to be consistent, persistent. We have to post. We have to engage. We have to have DMs. We have to initiate conversations. There's a lot on the plate. Know what your weaknesses are. And after you get your pricing together, make sure that you add the cost of your team into your pricing so that it's not coming out of your pocket, but you have to build a team. Even if you want to be a solopreneur, I just want to stay small and I want to do this, that's great. But you have to cover the team that allows you to stay small and successful. See, staying small is okay if you're successful and you get the pay that you desire and it covers all the expenses and costs and you have a profit at the end so that you have a future. You're not going to be able to work the rest of your life. And so you have to price it to the point where you're paying yourself now, but you're putting some money into the future as well. The same thing goes for profit. What's profit for? Profit is to pay for unexpected things or to pay for new projects or refinements. That's what the profit's for. It's not to pay you. That should come before the profit, right? But the profit should always be included in your pricing. Once you know your weaknesses, that's when you're going to look to hire up. My suggestion when you're trying to fulfill your weaknesses with other people or other programs is that you hire up. Don't get what you think you can afford. Hire the people that you need. It's usually going to be 2 or 3 times more expensive, but if you price it properly and you're paying for it in advance, which is easy to do when you have a formula, you can hire up, you can have the best possible person that's capable of doing the function, but also a really good person to bring in your business that not only helps you do those things easily, they're easily trained, they're pretty much uh, encased, right? They're trained already when they come in. They just have to learn your process and system and your style. But once they do that, it becomes magical. What happens at that point is you start building a really good team, but you're already paying well. So these people will stay with you. The $5 an hour people, you either have to spend way too much time training them, which takes you away from fulfillment and growth, and you get frustrated, and it takes too long to train them. It takes at least 90 days to train a low level person to the level of success that you need them skilled at in order for you to fully let that go and them to truly pay for their own self through their actions and through the time that it allows you to go do the marketing that you have to do or to increase the marketing that you know you have has to be done. But when just think about having a formula that pays for them before you ever hire them. 50% of the reason small business owners don't hire someone is because they don't feel they can afford it yet. What we do is take away all of that problem. You never have the problem that says, I can't afford this person if you follow the right strategy and you follow the formula. Now, there's some people that even have the calculator and the formula that still don't follow it because of that old mindset that it costs money to hire a team. It doesn't cost money if you price it the right way. The last thing I'm going to share with you today is to have a repeatable process for your lead generation. That's your biggest area that you can grow revenue quickly. Is the more leads you have, the more sales you convert. Even if you stay at the same closing rate, if you talk to more people, you're going to sell more jobs. It's just common sense, but it's an area that a lot of people don't think about, right? So your lead generation strategy has to be expandable, has to be repeatable, or you have to have multi channels to do that. If you do, and you can expand it quickly, and you're not the person that's doing all the work, I guarantee you, you will create enough revenue to be able to hire the first team member. And then if you price it properly with a formulated pricing strategy, you'll pay for them over and over and over again from every single sale from that day forward, so that you're not looking at your payroll and wondering if you can pay it this week or not. What happens if that's happening to you now? You don't have a sound pricing strategy, and you don't probably have a sound lead generation process that you can go into, follow, expand, and repeat. If those two things aren't in place, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill struggle. And that's why a lot of businesses will go out because they start churning without pricing properly. So if a lot of cash is coming in, we think we're doing really well. That's not always the case. I can tell you that a lot of businesses go under when they slow down just by 10 or 15%. because that churn slows down enough that impacts them, and their pricing inequities show up really quickly. So make sure that you're doing these things, follow these steps, subscribe to my channel, like this video. If you like it and you want more tips, I'm going to come live to you once a week. I'm going to take some time off here in May, but I'll be coming back to you weekly, and we'll share some new success tips. If you can give me any suggestions down below in the comments, it would greatly help, because what I'll do is I'll come out and I'll share a live focused on that type of training. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to grow myself, but I'm here to show you by example how to grow your business successfully. I appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you watching the recording. Come back, tune in again, subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.